David.
Good morning.
Morning. Hi, David Moore, Dallas Morning News. We just start off with the status of Parsons and Diggs and what they're dealing with and what you expect from them today.
Yeah, Mike is feeling better, but he will not practice today. Trayvon will practice today.
He won't either.
No, Trayvon will practice.
will.
Will practice today. Yes.
Clarence Hill, Forward Star Telegram. I don't know how your day was yesterday, but I didn't know what you thought about the quarterback controversy that's looming in the Cowboys facility. And then
I'm just trying to say this with a straight face. Had a great day yesterday, but thanks for asking. But I had a little more conversation last night with Tad than I would like. Especially he was in the middle of a move. I don't know if you heard that. But, no, everything's good. I just think, once again, I mean, we've talked about the comments. I think, like anything, when you look at the whole thing, and particularly the start, it's about winning, and that's all we really care about. But there's no quarterback controversy.
Dak's your starter.
Dak's our starter. Yeah. Frankly, I mean, we were talking about this earlier. We actually feel like it falls on in your lap. I think you have to have a bigger responsibility in this. I mean, I think you need to be able to decipher between GM Jerry and owner Jerry. Because I think, and he can do that right in mid-sentence too. So I think you all need to do a better job of that. So get to work. So
And marketer Jerry.
I think I just said that, Clarence. Yeah, I mean GM, he wants to win.
How long did it take you to decipher between GM Jerry and Todd Archer of the ESPN? How long did it take you to decipher between GM Jerry and owner Jerry?
The pandemic was definitely camouflaged a lot of the opportunities. No, but it's all good. I don't have a date, Todd. Sorry. To check my analytics.
All right.
You good? Let's talk about some football. All right.
Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Did Jason Peters get any additional workload yesterday?
Yeah, he had a little more work yesterday. It's this big day for Jason and Michael, really, because they're on the same, work plan as, we'll try to give both those guys as much work as possible. I think Michael took somewhere between 16 and 18. Jason, took more team reps than he did last week. So we just definitely want to increase their practice load today in pads. So.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio. How do you help Tyler get ready for the possibility of a guy, if Thibodeau plays over him, who he has never seen play professional football? There's no tape on him.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, excellent question. I think just like anything, especially early in the year, you're in that unscouted look mode, and particularly when you have rookies that come in, and they have a number of rookies playing. So I mean, it's just not just one guy that you had to go back and look at some traits from the college tape and so forth. So he played briefly in the preseason, but at the end of the day, the scheme is diverse, so that's what we're focused on, and then you obviously split it and just really focus in on the player profiles, and that's kind of what we'll do down the stretch here. So the plan is pretty much will be complete today. Once we practice today, and then tomorrow we'll focus on the beginning and the end of the game, and then really the players will really be dialed in on exactly who they're playing against.
David.
I know both these players fall into the category of you won't know completely until Sunday, assuming we don't ask about them. But Schultz and also Curse, will they do anything in practice today, or is it all still just conditioning?
Dalton, he had a really good day yesterday. I did not check on him before I came in here, but he's progressing really well. The goal for Dalton is really to give him the Sunday practice because we feel like we can get him what he needs in the Sunday practice. So his determination will come after Sunday.
And Curse?
Yeah. He will not practice today. Getting better. Connor McGovern also, is doing very well. Yeah.
Kyle Gilman's DallasCowboys.com. Kind of along the same lines of the tight ends. What has Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson shown you over the first couple of weeks that's impressed?
I would just say growth. He loved those two guys, and it's kind of cool that they came in together. That they're very connected. They put in the extra time, the young guy meetings. They're early in, last to leave. So their work ethic. They're exactly the way you want them. So obviously they have different different characteristics and skill sets, at this part in their career. But, I think like any young player, they really just jumped on the opportunity to play special teams. And the fact that they both start on the punt team, I think that speaks volumes about how we feel about them and what they've been able to accomplish just in the short time they've been here.
What does Hendershot's skill set look like specifically?
Well, I mean, I think you might have to call the Giants for that one. I can't get into that. That's good
All
skill
right.
set. All right, no.
Wow.
You guys ain't working today? Is it Friday?
Man.
We don't know if Tad's got a plumber coming or, we want to
Yeah.
clear the decks.
Yeah.
Good. John, anything? Pastor?
Good now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges in, going up against Daniel Jones, who has shown he has some escapability in the pocket as well?
Yeah, I think when you look at Daniel, I mean, what's it, 3 systems now? That's part of it. That's a challenge for any young quarterback. But what I will say is, I think the way he's playing suits his game, the best because he can play from the pocket. I think he has 11 scrambles already in two games. So his ability to make plays outside the pocket, the threat of the run is there. But I do think there's a lot there in the passing game. So he's definitely off to a really good start. I think they're utilizing him a little different than he was used the last couple of years. But it really starts with Saquon. I mean that's the starting point in the offense, and just like anything, I don't care who your quarterback is, a healthy run game is the starting point.
Okay.
What did you learn from Cooper in his first start, and how does it help you with back-to-back starts for the first time in his career? It makes you guys more comfortable in knowing.
Well, Cooper's very consistent, with a high level of confidence. So you don't feel like you cannot. I mean, there's not time. There aren't too many times like, well, we don't want to do that. Just so, and I think that's so important in your number two, the ability to keep playing, and and when you have that, to me that's a reflection of a healthy quarterback room, and he definitely gives us that. And actually Will has really come on too. So I've been excited about what Will Greer has done, in his time. So and I think that's all starts with Dak and the way they emulate him and the way the scheme and the menu is built. So, but his consistency is a huge asset for us.
Anything he's now started the game and the Giants finally got a book on him. A lot of people didn't know anything about him before.
Well, let's not forget he spent some time with the Giants too. So, I mean, I think they're going to know him as well as anybody that we compete against. So, but yeah, that's all part of the prep, and more importantly, that's all part of the adjustments that go on during the course of the game.
We saw several times in the Cincinnati game where Parsons and Lawrence would line up over a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about the stress that puts on a tackle with that alignment and what it allows you to do a little bit defensively?
Yeah, definitely. I think just like anything, when you're teaching offense, every run blocking scheme you put in and every pass protection scheme you put in, they have schematic stress points. Well, now when we're coaching defense, obviously having an understanding of that, and then the next step is how do you stress the physical, the alignments, as far as the physical matchups, and definitely being in tune, because if you can get the physical stress points in line with the schematic stress points, obviously it plays to your advantage. So I mean that's just all part of the game plan process.
Mike Torrey, Epstein, Yahoo Sports. The Giants signed Jalen Smith this week. Second time that's happened in your games. I'm just curious, when y'all are looking at the wires, how much does a player's past experience with the team help and factor into the timing of a signing?
Yeah, I think the timing's different, but yeah, there's some benefit, to those conversations. I've been on both sides of it. I've never felt. I'm just trying to go back through history. I never felt that it really factored in the outcome of the game. But I think it can give you some insight, for your play callers, to maybe tilt towards a matchup more or less, So because I mean, to be honest with you, and frankly, you all do a really good job of it. The medical part of it is a big part of where the challenges are, and that's why that's important information. So, but obviously Jalen's history with us and history last year with the defense, but every scheme, every team evolves each and every year. So, I mean, we're clearly different this year than we were last year. I think it's being captain obvious. But, yeah, I don't see that as a huge asset for them.
I'm curious, when you do consider signing a player in that situation, is it benefit more in understanding the scheme or even understanding of specific players' tendencies?
I think, to be honest with you, I mean, I'd be surprised if that's why Jalen was signed. I mean, you know, they're. If you just look at their game against Carolina, I mean, you know, they played so much dime, and I get this probably because Christian McCaffrey and, you know, the matchup there. But, you know, they're, you know, as far as I don't know what they think are their linebackers, but I'm not surprised they signed a linebacker, and I think it just is. This is more about Jalen the player than Jalen the former Cowboy. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
See you tomorrow. You guys working tomorrow?